Heats up, U.S. arms manufacturers' profits predicted to increase next year. Requests to the defense industry or manufacturers of weapons in the United States is expected to get stronger next year. This is in line with the steps taken by the U.S. and its allies to increase their weapons. Quoted by Reuters on Monday, the 18th of December 2023, based on information from 3 sources, when the Pentagon summoned a number of large U.S. weapons manufacturers to attend a meeting and asked them to increase production almost 2 years ago or shortly after Russia invaded Ukraine, one of the company's CEOs was doubtful and stated that he didn't want there to be a lot of rocket stock in the warehouse when the war was over. However, now the big U.S. weapons manufacturer is more confident with the projection of strong demand in 2024. This is because the U.S. and its allies continue to add sophisticated weapons and equipment, because they think that Russia and China are preparing a number of aggressive actions. The calculation is simple. For example, to meet the demand for Patriot interceptors, a projectile that is fired at enemy missiles, for the U.S. military, production would increase from 550 to 650 rockets a year. At about $4 million United States dollar per rocket, there is a potential $400 million United States dollar increase in annual sales for one type of weapon alone. Increasing the amount of production with the old system will always be more profitable than spending on investment in new technology, so the higher demand will flow quickly into the company's profits. Wall Street expects shares of several major U.S. arms manufacturers, which have easily outperformed the benchmark S&P 500 stock index over the past 2 years, to continue rising. Shares of Lockheed Martin, LMTN, General Dynamics, GDN, and Northrop Grumman, NOC-N, are predicted to rise between 5% and 7% in the next 12 months, while the S&P's performance is likely to grow only limitedly. For information, Chairman of the U.S. Aerospace Industries Association, Eric Fanning, said that U.S. weapons stocks were not full before Russia invaded Ukraine. The enemy sees that our supplies are running low and running out, he said. He added that as a result, demand rose, driven by Chinese aggression, fear of Russian aggression, and support from allies in the Middle East. For 2 Putins suddenly appear in Russia. 2 Vladimir Putins appear in Russia. This happened Thursday local time, when the Russian president asked direct line the first time with the public since the outbreak of the war with Ukraine from 2022. The real Putin is confronted with the work of Putin artificial intelligence, AI. Fake Putin asks about body doubles. Putin also dismissed rumors that he used a doppelganger during the live question and answer event. He told the audience that he preferred to be unique. There should only be one person who looks and talks like Vladimir Putin. He was quoted as saying Russia Today, RT, Friday, the 15th of December 2023. On the same page, it is said that the fake Putin is someone who claims to be a student from St. Petersburg. He used a nearly identical computer-generated representation of Putin to ask the president to comment on rumors that he uses a body double. They also asked for his opinion regarding the dangers of artificial intelligence. Putin was reportedly taken aback when answering questions from his clone, saying he would prefer to be the only Putin. "You look like me, you speak in my voice," he said, "but I've thought about it and decided that there should only be one person who looks like me and uses my voice," he added. "And that person should be me. That's just a joke from one of our political figures," he said. He said, describing the eye replica of himself as his first twin. The Kremlin has repeatedly dismissed speculation from media outlets such as Britain's The Mirror that the Russian president was using a body double. Presidential spokesman Dmitry Peskov derided the claims as nonsensical information. Putin-related political events have been postponed or canceled altogether in the months following Russia's attack on Ukraine. He did not hold his annual press conference last year, with his annual State of the Union address postponed until February. Please note, direct line with Putin very popular in Russia. This allows ordinary people to ask the Russian leader for his opinion in solving their everyday problems. As the war moves away, drones attack Moscow. Military Ukraine launched drone UAV attacks on the Moscow region, Russia. This is Kyiv's latest attack after Russia previously launched a similar attack on the fellow former Soviet Union Moscow mayor, Sergei Sobyanin, said the drone was shot down by air defenses in the Naro-Fominsk district of the Moscow region. Based on preliminary data, there was no damage from the fall of the UAV and no one was injured. The Kyiv regime's attempt to carry out a terrorist attack using an aircraft-type drone has been thwarted. A total of 9 drones were destroyed in Moscow and Kaluga, said the Russian Ministry of Defense, quoted by Russia Today, RT, Thursday, the 14th of December 2023. Earlier, the Ukrainian general in charge of UAV operations, Sergei Baranov, said Kyiv was preparing a large-scale drone bombing campaign against Russia this winter. Because there will be a pause in ground combat operations due to bad weather, Ukrainian forces have repeatedly used drones to target Russia. Last week, Russian air defenses downed 22 unmanned aerial vehicles, while another 13 were intercepted in the Sea of Azov in Crimea. In late November, a massive Ukrainian drone strike was launched towards Moscow, Tula, Bryansk, Smolensk, and Kaluga regions. The attack was thwarted by Russia with 24 UAVs destroyed. One of the crashed drones crashed into an apartment building in Tula. According to local media, the UAV hit an apartment on the 12th floor, injuring one person inside. Little known, Putin's war money machine is here. The Russian government has brought in more than 2.5 billion United States dollars, or around 38.7 trillion Indonesian rupiahs, from the African gold trade. Profits have been made since Russian President Vladimir Putin launched his invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. The Blood Gold report released this month said Putin's gains were driven by the Wagner Group's influence in much of Africa, where private military companies, PMCs, have established a foothold by offering security services and paramilitary assistance in recent years. The researchers wrote that Wagner had exclusive rights over Nadasima, the largest gold mine in the Central African Republic, CAR, in return for its support for the authoritarian regime. Wagner has also controlled large gold refineries in Sudan, allowing PMC to become the dominant buyer of unprocessed Sudanese gold, with many Russian military transport planes shipping refined gold abroad, said the Blood Gold report, as quoted from Newsweek on Thursday, the 14th of December 2023. Previously, CNN International in July 2022, citing sources familiar with the matter, reported that Russian officials began smuggling gold from Sudanese mines immediately after launching the war in Ukraine. In CAR and Sudan, where Wagner-linked entities are already under international sanctions, Kremlin actors are relying on complex smuggling routes and corporate subterfuge tactics to extract huge amounts of blood gold from Africa.